Yo, what's going on, guys? Mush back at it with another video. Absolutely ecstatic to talk about Final Fantasy VII Rebirth coming to PC January 23rd, 2025. Man, do we gotta make early 2025 even more insane than it already is? You got FF7 Rebirth, and just like with Final Fantasy 16 and God of War Ragnarok coming out back to back, now we got Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth and Spider-Man 2 coming out back to back. PlayStation just getting murked as far as losing their exclusives. More games on more platforms, I've always said, is a great thing, and Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, for a lot of people, was their game of the year in 2024. I wouldn't say it was my game of the year, but it was pretty damn close, and it may have been like a 1A, 1B type situation. I really enjoyed Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, but FF7 Rebirth was absolutely awesome as well, and best of all, fairly quick turnaround, a little bit less than a year to get FF7 Rebirth onto PC. On top of that, available on Steam right away. We got a steep discount for the game already, so it's not coming out at $70, and we've got the full system requirements. 3 tiers of system requirements to go over. We'll go over that, and they have noted they are working hard to get this game optimized for the Steam Deck. What that means, I don't know, but it does look like this game will be able to be ran on the deck, which is quite remarkable. The issue with the Steam Deck generally comes from the games that are next-gen titles, as in they aren't playable on PlayStation 4. FF7 Rebirth obviously only playable on PlayStation 5, so it being able to be ran on the deck, that is going to be very impressive. We'll see exact performance, but FF7 Remake obviously does run on the deck, but Rebirth is certainly more of an impressive game. Rebirth is the direct sequel to Remake, so go play Remake if you haven't. The game on Steam is 30% off as a part of the special promotion. $49, there's a deluxe edition, there's the Remake and Rebirth Twin Pack, that's $70, and then the Rebirth and Remake Digital Deluxe Twin Pack. Our good friends at Green Man Gaming, they've got an even more sizable discount. 43% off for $40.17. I will leave the link in the description box below. You can buy it from there. You'll get a Steam key. You won't pay tax either, so you're saving quite a lot by buying the game on Green Man Gaming versus other platforms, so certainly do check that out, and the game is fantastic. It is the second entry into the Final Fantasy VII Remake trilogy, and it adds a lot more open areas, a lot more side content, and they do note the PC version of Final Fantasy VII Rebirth features a range of graphics settings that will allow players to get the best quality across their different machines. There are features 3 different graphical presets and the ability to customize the settings. These presets have been optimized to allow PC to experience the game with optimized quality across various different setups. You can also deep dive to tweak individual settings to suit the PC you are using. I should say, FF7 Remake had a lot of issues at launch, and the actual modifications you can make to the settings were very, very bare bones, but hopefully they do a better job with Rebirth. Depending on your rig, you'll be able to play the game with frame rates up to 120 frames per second and a range of visual enhancements, including refined lighting, improved environmental detail, more detailed textures. You'll also potentially be able to experience enhanced frame rate and image quality with NVIDIA DLSS. VRR is also supported. As for controls, connecting a DualSense controller with a PC allows you to use the same controls as the PS5 version. Keyboard and mouse support has also been added alongside the option to freely customize the controls between world exploration with a combat and mini games. I would imagine a variety of other controllers would work as well. What are the recommended specs? Oh boy, here we go. Minimum 30 FPS at 1080p. This is an AMD Ryzen 5 1400, Intel Core i3 8100, RX 6600, and a RTX 2060. They do note NVIDIA RX 6600 or later model required, and RTX series or later required. 16 gigs of RAM. And recommended 60 frames per second, 1080p. That's at the graphics preset of medium. You're looking at a Ryzen 5 5600 or a Ryzen 7 3700X, i7 8700 or an i5 10400, Radeon RX 6700 XT or an NVIDIA GeForce RTX 2070. 16 gigs of RAM is noted there as well. And then Ultra 4K, 60 frames per second, graphics quality preset set to high, Ryzen 7 5700X or an i7 10700, RX 7900 XTX, and then an RTX 4080, which should be expected. If you're talking about playing a game at 4K 60 FPS, you know, needing a higher end machine like this isn't that surprising. And then 16 gigs of RAM for Ultra as well. And then you also do have to note 155 gigabyte SSD is noted for that. So yeah, going to be quite the sizable install. They do note that for recommended, GPU memory of 12 gigabytes or greater is recommended, and then for Ultra, GPU memory of 16 gigabytes or greater is recommended if a 4K monitor is used and 4K resolution. Now, I do not know if this is utilizing DLSS. I don't believe it is. But we'll see. You know, sometimes they don't directly say that. We've seen this quite a lot, and it would be nice to get some clarity on that. RTX 4080 for 4K at 60 FPS. Like, I would imagine that's without DLSS. Like, fingers crossed that's without DLSS, but honestly, these days, you don't know. So, we'll see how that turns out. Yeah, so will the game be Steam Deck verified? The team is working hard to optimize the game for Steam Deck. We'll have more information about official Steam Deck verification in the future, so keep an eye on our social media accounts. Based on the fact that they're saying that they'll have more updates, that leads me to believe that it will be Steam Deck verified, but we'll get more information on that in the coming weeks because the release isn't that far away. It's like 6 weeks away, less than 6 weeks away, or just about 6 weeks away. So very excited for that. And it will not be an Epic Games Store exclusive. I think Square Enix has learned at this point that if they can make multi-platform releases, they will do multi-platform releases. Yeah, the Epic Games check might be juicy. Yeah, you already committed to Sony, and that check might be pretty spicy as well, but there's a large growing amount of people playing on PC, playing on Steam. You're certainly mitigating your sales numbers by, first of all, delaying the release in the first place. Rebirth is not going to do as well as it could have done had it launched day one. That is not rocket science. You know, we saw the reception with FF16, and while FF16 did fine for a one-year delay, it didn't do blow-away numbers. I expect the same thing out of Rebirth. Do I expect it to do better than 16? Yeah, Rebirth was generally a far better received game, and it is having a quicker turnaround. You do have a steep discount attached to it, and it's just, you know, a lot of people did consider it Game of the Year. So, excited for this to finally drop on PC. I think people are going to have a fantastic time with it. Rebirth is just a tremendous game, and I will be replaying it on PC. It is just that good of a game. Is it perfect? No. I think some of the side content isn't great. I think some of the sections in the game and the mini games aren't that enjoyable, but the good greatly outweighs the bad, and I am incredibly excited that the game is getting a quick turnaround more than anything. Remember, Final Fantasy VII Remake, for it to finally come out on Steam, it was over 2 years from the initial release. Now, what happened was FF7 Remake came out, then they did the Intergrade release on PlayStation 5, so it was an upgraded release. Then they did a timed exclusive release on the Epic Games Store in December of 2021, so 18 months after the initial release for the first PC release. And then 6 months after that, after the EGS exclusivity wore off, it finally came out on Steam in June of 2022. March of 2020 was the initial release on PS4 for FF7 Remake. Rebirth, you're talking 11 months after the initial release, finally, or already on PC. Already, finally, however you want to view it. Link to Green Man Gaming, where you can get the game super cheap, in the description box below. We'll be talking about the game more as we get more information on it, but that's going to do it for me. Let me know all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. As always, thanks for watching, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out. Hey, what's going on, guys? Mush here again. Hope you enjoyed the video. As you guys might know, YouTube's notification system is sometimes a little bit wonky, even if you're subscribed to the channel. Maybe you're not abundantly aware that I uploaded a video. To remedy that situation, make sure you hit the bell notification button. This way, whenever I upload a new video, and I try to upload as consistently as possible, you will be notified directly of the upload, and you can watch it as soon as it goes live. I would really appreciate if you guys hit that button so you can stay up to date with all of the content I'm posting. But as always, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.